Oh.
I was waiting for you. I
No,
couldn't.
I looked away and I wasn't paying attention, and then I missed the cue. Anyways, hi guys. Iceland song. Welcome back to the stream, you guys. That was clumsy as all hell. It is the Eurovision Fam weekly stream, and it's good to be seeing you guys again. This is our weekly coverage of the last events that happened in the week. This is Shortcake ESC, joined by
Lily loves stuff, and I was paying attention. I just assumed Jordan was.
I know I just phased out for the moment, but we'll get into the reason why that even happened in a little bit, because we got topics, you guys.
And if you're joining us live, don't forget to hit that subscribe. We can do that later. Like the stream, because it boosts the algorithm and more people will show up. I don't know. I think I called it The Quiet Before the Balkan Storm. I think I like that title. I feel like it's very evocative. And we are going to be having a Baltic storm, or did I say Baltic? Balkan storm, because we do have, basically, that's where all the attention is going to be pointing towards later on in the week. But we got to get through the stuff that happened this week first. Starting off, we have no, oh my God, we had no articles this week in the on the site. I did get distracted because Nanolo posted this, which is people who call pineapple the ananas. I'm eating it, so I randomly said it because why not? You know what I found out yesterday? I learned about the history of why we call pineapples, and why everyone else calls it ananas. And no, not everyone in Spain also kind of went pina. So I found out why, and it's because in the native language, ananas is like really good fruit is what it translates to. So most countries took that when they named it, but Spain was like, it kind of looks like a pine cone, and Spain was like, we're gonna call it pina because of pine cones. And then England was like, sure, it's a pineapple because it's a piney apple. Yes.
I that's kind of upsetting. I did not know this history.
Marino's Pie. Hi guys.
Hey, Marinos.
Hi. How are you? And Georgios Papadopoulos. If you're here, hello. If you're not, don't worry, my fingers are crossed.
No worries, Giorgio. Big election in your country. We're all hoping for the best for you guys.
That's all I'm gonna say. All right. Now, talking about stuff going on. So we know who's going to be going to Italy.
Yes.
Finally, a week later, Lucio Corsi will be singing his song "Volevo essere un Dura" or Duro. Sorry, Duro. And so he plays second at Sanremo, but Ollie decided not to go to Sanremo because he's busy. I get it.
Well, I mean, part of the reason I feel like why Ollie decided to stay and not go to Eurovision is because when you have like late spring tour dates, Italians really just want to show up to those and then be a part of enjoying your music, and you get to really convene with your fan base, and it's just a good time to be had in just doing that. Eurovision, you don't necessarily get that same promise. It's more of a gamble. So in that regard, I do understand that he didn't want to compete. He just wanted to enjoy music with his fans. But it did result in us getting a winner that is not the winner of a delegate that's not the winner of Sanremo, like the last time like the last time Carlo Conti had hosted the contest. So now we do get Lucio. Yeah.
So I'm trying to think. The last time we had this was Francesca Michelin.
Yeah, Girl Hold Onion. Yeah, that was the last time this happened.
You know what? There's something about her live performance of No Degree of Separation that makes me think of my little sister. And so there's just I like Francesca because she makes me think of my sister when she was younger. I think they're about the same age. No, Francesca's maybe a couple of years older than my sister, but like she just makes me think of my baby sister. So I like her for that reason. I don't know. I just feel like when it comes to Lucio, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. My biggest issue is I don't remember his song. I remember him because he's a very striking appearance that he chooses to use. And like, I like an artist who uses like an interesting look. And I just feel like the songs that suit his look anymore. And like, there's a disconnect there. I don't remember his actual song. I remember his performance during covers night. They really liked his cover.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cute. But I don't remember his song. I'm gonna have to sit down and listen to it more. And really absorb it. But I don't really have many thoughts. It's just like I don't remember this.
Yeah. That I feel like is part of my issue too. So during the week of San Remo, this song, the first time it performed, I didn't like it. And throughout the week, it kind of, I'm talking about the song itself, Volevo Essere Enduro. That song was my 29th place in the show. It just, like, I don't know, the composition just was frankly uninteresting to me. And the visual kind of gave me anxiety. But yeah, and it just didn't quite feel complete for a stage show. So I was like, okay, yeah, like let's see who else we got. Let's move on. Then we got to the top 5, Georgia being robbed, Elodie being robbed. We talked about this last week. I'm not going to get back into it. But when everything came down to it and it was between Ollie and Lucio, I was like, okay, it's either Italy is going to land my mid-table or they're officially going to be competing for my last place. It's really hard to do that now when he's in the actual Eurovision lineup because Lucio has artistic vision. You could see how much message he tried to convey into the song. Lyrically, it's a song that makes sense. I really appreciate the humor in it. He knows how to occupy the stage. The duet with Giorgio did deserve to win cover night, but there's nothing there. As a composition, there's really nothing there to grasp onto, to really remember. You did. Oh, Rue just turned off my light. But as I was saying, there's nothing really significant in the tune to kind of give it that charge that I feel like it'll be super competitive. You know, that is my issue with it. It's not my last place right now. It was my last in San Remo, but now that it's here, I'm like, do something.
Nanello says, yes, Italy here. I'm not happy. I'm not sad. Me just standing there staring at the situation, probably acknowledging that we'll be out of the top 10 or maybe not, but I don't know. I honestly, this year is so unpredictable here with, you know, everything we got going on when it comes to the acts we've gotten confirmed so far. Peter Hadich says, I have to be honest, Italy's a skip for me for the first time. The strongest element of this whole package are in the lyrics, which are beautiful. Otherwise, I'm not too convinced.
Yeah. Lucio seems cool. Like, Lucio does seem cool. I do want to say that.
And I'm going to highlight this comment from Ninola, which is, I don't know about Lucio before San Remo, but he's been known for 15 years, especially in the indie scene. And all singers and musicians were so happy he was taking part and that he did so well. So I think
I'm glad to hear that.
That sounds like a good thing for like indie musicians moving forward. That they maybe we might see more of them at San Remo, because I tend to like indie music, and you know what happens in the indie scene, even if it's not necessarily what ends up going mainstream. Kind of like indie music usually has like 1 or 2 flukes a year. So we'll see what goes on with that. Let me see here. I think I'm just looking at the comments. Marino's Pie says it's a sweet song. Won't do too much at Eurovision, but I don't think Italy even cares to do well. Okay.
Italy has a right to hold back every now and then. They have a right to do that because they have the power. We all know that. We see it almost every year.
It just frees up space for someone else to rise to the occasion. And then Elo Elodie says they could have won with Georgia. What a waste, girl.
Oh my god. Oh well, that might have been the fumble of the season. I mean, I can argue against that probably in this stream, but that might be the fumble of the season.
We have things planned for later on in the season after we get through all the national finals.
Yes.
And we could talk about fumbling, because I think that's a huge part of that plan we have involved talking about some fumbles. But that's what happened over the weekend, or yesterday, I guess, with Italy. Let's talk about the results from yesterday. Kicking it off with Songvakeppnin. The result is that Vibe won and will represent Iceland with their song Roa. They came first with the jury, first with the public, and this was their second try at Söngvakeppnin, and hey, they did it in the second try. Thoughts?
I kind of want like a stripped lo-fi R&B version of this song. That's never going to happen. But
like Jordan. Okay.
But Anyways, about the song itself, it is stompy, electric, in your face, Europop, clubby. It's there. It's fun. It's present. It feels authentically Icelandic.
Yeah.
It's not for me. I don't personally think I would rank this super high, and it's because this isn't necessarily what I look for in a Eurovision song, but it is what a lot of people and a lot of audience members look for. They are leaning
Yeah.
in the direction of what was left in the vacuum left behind with Tommy Cat. Have we addressed that since last stream? I don't feel like we've addressed that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Address what?
But it's okay. We don't
Tommy?
The recent kind of stuff that's happened with the Estonian broadcaster with their channel being deleted.
We'll talk about that. Let's focus on Iceland first.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we can talk about that because we didn't talk about that. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Iceland?
It's not my personal taste.
Mm-hmm.
Their other song wasn't my personal taste. I think it's just like music that's not my personal taste.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really listen to it much other than like a couple of times because I felt like Songvakeppnin wasn't giving this year. And
no, it was
Songvakeppnin defender, but just Songvakeppnin this year was off. And I only thing I can blame is how things went last year. Hopefully we get back to some quality Songvakeppnin because I think like 2020 was good. 2019 was good. Same with 2020, 2021, 2022. Well, 2021 they didn't have a national final, but you know what I mean. And you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They've been in a good streak, and then last year kind of fell apart. And then this year, I'm just like, I feel like no one showed up. Like no one really wanted to be there.
Yeah. Which I mean, this is just the wake period of last year. This is still kind of what I feel like Eurovision post Malmö 2024 is just trying to find its own footing again after being knocked on its ass, basically.
Yeah.
You know?
Basically. I mean, at this point, like this year just feels like a weird year for the contest, and it's really disappointing to me. But like, no one to blame but the EBU.
Yeah,
it's their own fault. So we'll see how things go later on. It's a fine song. Yeah. So I'm just
it's like I
comment. Go ahead.
Very short thought, and then Peter. But I don't necessarily think I'll be adding it to a playlist, but I don't think it's going to be a skip every time if I'm listening to it on a playlist that's already provided. But yeah, that's my consumption thought on it. But when we get to the deep dives into each of the songs, then my opinion might have changed by then.
Yeah. So Peter Hadich says there are so many male singers in Semi 1. Only Justina and Beatrice from Chakra Electronic. So we'll have many male bops, but they won't stand out maybe. I mean, I'm looking at the lineup. Honestly, we'll talk about Estonia again here in a second. See what happens there. But at least Vibe is upbeat and they're not off-putting. So that's 2 points in their favor. Looking at that first half, it's Estonia, Iceland, Poland, Portugal, Slovenia, Sweden, Ukraine. I feel like we all feel like who's going to win in Sweden. I don't know if I'm ready to make that call in my life yet, but hey. Ukraine, excellence. I'm sorry. Like, I need a minute because the scoreboard still has Ukraine like almost second to last. Yeah, and I'm seeing people's tops come out. And Ukraine is consistently like in people's bottom threes. Are we not hearing the same song?
Clock it.
Like, I don't know if it's that or if it's just like maybe my taste doesn't align with the youth.
Maybe.
Who knows? But this is, that's a whole side piece. And then I'm looking at the second half of that semi, and it's Albania, Azerbaijan, Belgium, Croatia. I don't know where Croatia's going. We're going to talk about Croatia more later. Theo, Claude. Ooh, yeah, this is like all men. Ew. It's like looking at like the winners of San Remo.
Okay, so Beatrice and Gaia Justina are definitely going to be steaming through.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. Croatia, send a woman. San Marino, send a woman. Sweden, I would tell you to send a woman, but we know you hate women almost as much as Italy does. So. Yeah. Anyways, Marino's Pie says something that Iceland could have. Okay, it sounds like something Iceland could have sent 12 years ago. Basically the same with most of the lineup we have so far. I hate this year.
Okay, Marinos, in a way that I do agree with you, if we keep getting this type of entry, then it's just going to create a vacuum for someone who is going to be slated to win from a certain country to go ahead and do that because no one else decided to make a diverse choice.
It's a weird year. It's a weird year.
Yes.
Elodie, are we in a transitional year? We might be.
We might be.
We very well might be. Like, honestly, I feel like, but I really like, because I'm going to say the last transitional year we had was what, 2017? So 2017, I would say, was a big
post Jamala.
So like Jamala, I would say even maybe was a transition towards like away from a pop sound and more towards an authentic sound, but she was definitely a hard reset.
Yeah.
In a way,
and then Salvador was kind of like the we're here.
2017, because 2017 was a lot of meh too. And then we just had one really great song that rose up out of the ashes and gave us a first time winner ever. We love to see it. And what the top three was, I love the top three from that year. I'm not gonna lie. Like seeing Portugal and then Bulgaria and Moldova.
Like
as
you
our
three,
top
I
three.
love you three together.
Like nothing about this makes sense, but it all makes sense. Like imagine telling yourself 10 years ago that in 2017 your top three at Eurovision were going to be Portugal, Bulgaria, and Moldova. Like,
if you told me this in 2016, I'd be like, back up, like get away from me.
What are you talking about? So, I mean, we'll see what happens, but like, and that kind of transitioned us into like what I call the authenticity era. That's a weird phrase, but like I feel like after between 2017 and even to like 2024, we were seeing more of an authentic. It was more about the artist as an artist.
Yes.
And making sure whatever they have really suited them, and like we wanted something that felt real to who was performing it. And so we might be
I agree.
Out of that phase into something else. Who knows where we go from here? But I think we'd have to really get to Eurovision and have the full lineup before I can make a true call on that. Peter says, "Oh, sorry."
Peter says, "Hopefully, Zifferblatt will be this year's Black Mamba." Oh wow! I didn't even think about that. Maybe that could happen. Maybe.
Which hey, I was okay with that. I was perfectly fine with that.
It took me forever to really get into it, but once I was there, I was there. Like Portugal, they pulled it off, but Portugal they'd pull it off. We'll get to them in a bit.
Okay, because you wanted to talk about Estonia. So.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What on earth? Like, here's my thing. All of this is so on par for what I would expect from Tommy Cash as an artist. Like, I don't like his music because he's like, to me, he just comes off as someone who's there to make memes more than anything.
Yeah.
So when I saw him in the lineup, I was like, what is he doing here? Why is he here? And then you get the actual song, you get the live performance. Everything about this feels like it's just there to dunk on Eurovision.
Yeah. And the thing is, I don't think Eurofans can quite easily pick up when something is a direct affront to them. They think it's artistic expression. They don't see it as a mode of aggression, which I feel like it's kind of aggressive the way that he was doing it. To the point where, I mean, even we got to this.
Here's my thing. That's his thing, though. Like, that's his whole shtick. Is like make fun of you to your face, and that's why I don't like what he makes. Like I'm like I don't like his music for that reason.
I think I'm pretty averse to it because I grew up in a space and time where it's just like, if you make fun of me to my face, you will be hit. Like that's as simple as that. Like we pay equal respect to each other. It probably is very old fashioned the way I grew up, but it's not very it's not artistically respectful to show up to a place and just be demeaning to the point where you're honestly just hoping that they get into that and tap into that humor within themselves. No, it shows laziness artistically. If all you're doing is just prodding like that, it's not good.
It's just something I'm never gonna vibe with. I've never vibed with. Like, it's not, his music isn't for me, and it's like I don't like. It's the same issue I have with like Little Big, for example. I don't like their music because it feels the same way to me. Who else is there? Like Oliver Tree, who I mix up with Tommy Cash all the time. Same thing. I don't like the music these men make because it just feels like it's like making fun of you, and it's like, I'm good. I don't need this energy. I can go like make fun of myself. I have a very
the crackheadology of the song that was put out with Juice, like that. I mean, a lot of things are valid. Like, Juice's frustration with the European Broadcasting Union is absolutely valid. What they did to him probably is destroying his career, and I really do feel sympathy with him over the fact that he was prejudiced during the run of the contest to the point where he was eliminated and his entire country disqualified. That was unfair.
Yeah,
that song is fucking bad. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be saying that on stream, but that song is not, it's not good enough to be a protest against the ones who did that to you. It seems like you met up with this troublemaking guy, you put this together, rushed it, and now because the turn of events where Estilal is over and you have this time now, you put it out there and it just does not seem artistically well made. I mean, it feels strange to even be criticizing this because this wasn't in the Eurovision lineup. It's not competing, but this was the subsequent thing of Tommy. So it's just a really confusing space to be in.
I mean, for me, even I would disagree with that to a certain extent because it's like, again, it makes sense because to me, Youst has a very clowny sense of humor, but his comes from more like a place of sincerity. I don't know, like if it's like a trauma response or something, that just comes off to me as like, let's make a joke, but at the same time, we're being serious here. And like, I appreciate how he approaches it. Even though, again, I don't like the sound of his music. It annoys me. But I can appreciate Youst as an artist more.
Yeah, and that was fine. That's why Europapa, it straddled a very, very delicate balance of saying this has some artistic relevance, it has savvy, but at the same time, it does provide that, I don't want to use the word like simplicity, but it does have that just kind of easy beat that you can get into that a lot of younger Europeans like. So he straddled a nice divide back then, but that was back then.
Here's the issue I have too. So the Estilal YouTube channel's gone?
As far as I've heard. I have not checked myself, but he had it deleted or something.
I have the internet in front of me.
He did have every video that featured Espresso Macchiato striked. And I believe the Estonian channel has been striked. You're a weirdo, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you. That's just weird behavior. Like, you're not a misunderstood artist at that point. You're just being a dick.
You're just doing it for the memes. No.
This is 2011. You don't ruin artistry to just be funny.
Copyright striking. No, I mean, what is this? Estira. Is this the official broadcaster's page?
I don't know. I'm not looking at anything right now. I'm rearranging my notes.
It looks like it is. Okay, so the page for the actual broadcaster is still up. And his video is still on it.
Okay, so then they might have remedied something.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how that all went down. I didn't pay a lot of close attention to the channel, the goings on of the channel. I just heard about that, and then I witnessed the artistic piece that they made together, and was just underwhelmed.
Yeah, it's all very trolly, but I don't like. I'm sorry, if you're going into Eurovision, don't copyright strike reactors, because
where are you getting publicity outside of this? Yeah.
Like, that's free publicity for your entry.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Like, if it's a record label like Panic Records, we all know, don't try to upload anything a Panic artist did.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
RAI, we know.
like, I don't know what
kind
to
of
say other than that. But like, yeah, like at that point though, it just, I don't know, it seems silly because it's like, oh, free publicity, and like, especially if it's like a popular person, why strike them? But I don't know. Maybe that's just me like overreading things. Who knows?
And
yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna just leave it. We'll leave it at this, which is this comment here from Peter Hadich. It's weird.
it's weird. It's weird for everyone who was kind of participating in this whole endeavor. It doesn't matter what side you're on. You made a weird decision too. So now we're all just kind of sitting in this weird.
It's very weird. It's giving
Yeah.
like, it's weirdo behavior. Let's be honest.
So yeah,
Okay.
now Estonia is gonna have to
I'm
figure
done.
out what the hell to do. I'm done too.
I'm done with Estonia. Okay. Let's talk about Festival da Canção because I think we're both very upset by one of the things that happened. So I'm going to read off the qualifiers. Qualifiers were Marco Rodriguez with Minha Casa. You know, I'm not going to say the name of the song. I'm just going to say the artist here. Margarida Campeo, Josh, Louis, Yesicapina, and then Peculiar were our qualifiers. How do we feel about our I'll tell you how I feel about our non-qualifier.
Yeah, how do you feel about our non-qualifier?
What was the capital of Bulgaria? Come on, what is this? What was wrong with that performance?
Oh my god,
the song is gorgeous.
Oh
I thought the open spots on her face were so beautiful.
On the house,
like,
it was so cute. Oh wow, this feeling never escapes. I always get this feeling at some point during the year. I just wasn't expecting Portugal to do it out of all
Portugal. Like, what is this behavior, Portugal? I am disappointed in you.
Like, I need to backhand slap Italy and front hand slap Portugal. It's like, y'all.
What is happening?
What's the matter with y'all? What is the matter with you two?
What is going on with you two? Like, come on, kitties. Like, what is this?
Girls, the public and jury are too damn high.
I can't believe Festival da Canção disappointed me.
FDC is usually a good movie, you know, it's a good show. Like the plot resolves itself in Festival da Canção. You get the hero wins. That's just what happens. Okay. Yeah, so it was Flop City. Hi, Renato. Fans here in Portugal are confused too. I really just want to make sense as to as much as I like the composition of Ninguém by Blue A, that performance was all ass. Like, it was bad. The vocal was horrendous. And the lighting was off. I mean, I could describe the lighting as off for a couple of these acts, but that is like the easily one I would have nixed. Oh, yeah. And okay, so one criticism I do have about Lisboa, and that's the song we're talking about, by the way, you guys, because it was one of our shared winners of the semi. One of the issues I did have with the performance was the white lighting. I thought it kind of gave Breaking Bad. Like, I don't love white lighting on everybody. It doesn't suit everybody's skin tones. If you see white lighting on me, this is why I use orange lighting. It's because it just, I don't like how it just cools everything down. The lighting wasn't the issue. It wasn't that big of an issue. It should still have qualified. But the qualifiers, I do enjoy the ones who did qualify too, save like two. There are two in here who I'm just like, but what can you do? What can you do?
I mean, I just
bottom four.
I mean, everyone else who qualified, I'm okay with, basically.
Yeah, like it's still good semi. It was still a good show.
And
it's not just Lisboa that we lost. We also lost I Senor, which was an incredible opening performance. Like, I was blown away by the quality of that opening performance.
Yeah. I don't know. Every time I watch Festival da Canção, I just get hair envy though too. I'm not gonna lie.
Hair envy?
No.
Honestly, yeah. It's so luscious. Like, come on, like literally everybody there.
everyone like has great hair, and it's just like, oh, like that looks gorgeous. Oh gosh, the trumpet
Jessica
solo.
Pina. Oh my God, Galifrey. Like
Fantastic.
that, I would say is probably my favorite of the qualifiers.
Yeah, no, that was great. That was my favorite live.
That is Portugal. That is Festival da Canção right there. Very, very,
That's
very.
what I watch it for. Yeah, I was in a state of what is happening.
Can I say that I do have a slight bit of underwhelm over Tristeza, Josh's performance. I saw a lot of hype.
You know what?
For it leading into it.
I agree. I felt like it's a beautiful song. I would have. I think the staging concept is interesting to me. Having him like levitating using that trick, like that magic trick. I would have liked something more dynamic though, because the whole time he's just standing there holding a pole. Like if we could rig something up so that the pole goes up and down, like maybe start like have it on hydraulics or something, so he kind of starts on the ground, and then he moves up with the pole.
That could be cool for Eurovision. Like, that could be a nice idea.
As the song gets built up, having it so like it's like he's stuck in a storm or something like that visually, and having his body go like parallel with the ground.
Use a cheap storm staging. Just rotate it.
Like there's just something about the way it's staged right now is like leaving me feeling underwhelmed. I think it's a gorgeous song. It's beautiful, but I'm left like, and then what? It's just it's too, and like play around with the camera angles more, make it like more chaotic, play around with the lighting. It just feels very like,
it's kind of just there performance wise. It's just the idea of it's very nice. I do need to disagree with you on a bit though. It is a beautiful song. It is a gorgeous song. I don't think it's a good song. I don't personally think it has, it's a nice waltz, but it doesn't have a quality to me that I feel like is personally more significant than other songs in the Eurovision lineup. I'm thinking about Eurovision. I'm thinking about the quality that ballads could bring. And Portugal is not filling that slot with this song for me. It just isn't there. If it does go to Eurovision, I would prefer that it takes a revamp because I love a Portuguese ballad. But something about this, just kind of like the staging, isn't hitting a mark that I feel like people are claiming that it does. But that's just my opinion, and I'm often wrong about things.
I was doing my coworkers yesterday. I got my coworkers on the Festival da Canção train. I'm not even joking. Like, I literally was sitting there. I'm like, we have this one guy who like listens to like jazz music all time at work. I'm like, let me give you this playlist. And like, I just like sent it to him in like our little Slack channel. I'm like, listen to this. He's like, ooh. I'm like, I told you. My goal is to make all of them people I work with in that office into Festival da Canção fans. Diego Rodrigo says, I felt it when Yolanda performed Grito for the first time. I felt nothing with Josh's static performance. Okay.
That does show some perspective, some promise.
Yeah.
Because they can pick it up. They definitely can.
Like, studio-wise, I'm okay with this. I like the song studio, but just staging-wise, it was disappointing for me. Let's see here. Joanna, if you could, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Joanna. Or Joanna, I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing your name. Josh is my winner. Hello from Portugal. Hello.
We love to see support. We love to see support for the artists.
I'm not gonna lie, we love to see Portuguese people in here because like we're Portugal stands and we've been Portugal stands. I'm just saying here. Mark says, I don't understand Josh's staging concept. For it to work, give it the illusion, a certain angle, so make it look like he had a plumbing insert into him. You know what? Even if you can't like make the pole move, move the camera, bring the camera downwards. You can play with camera angles to make it look more dynamic. I
mean, and they did some of that. They did some of that with a couple of the acts. They did like the back and forth shot that didn't compliment everybody. Like Lishko, I feel like that kind of detrimented the performance. They did a couple cute little camera things, but they did nothing that would really have super impacted the performance. And speaking really quickly about the outfit, I don't know if any of you guys have been to the States, but there's this restaurant called the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh my
And
god.
sometimes,
Oh
and
my
sometimes
gosh.
when you walk, when you walk up to the front counter and there's like 6 to 7 hosts in front of you, they'll kind of be dressed like Josh before you're seated at the table, and then be offered menus and water. It's an underwhelming outfit. I'm sorry. Black suit does very well for ballads. That is just part of a good ballad formula every so often. I don't hate the idea of a black suit. What I dislike is the fact that this song needed more. It needed more than that. It's not the type of song where you're really honing in on the lyrics. I feel like it's more of a melodic song than it is a lyrical song. But with that said, I did want some kind of more spontaneity in how the outfit was constructed, because this isn't like Amarpelos Dois to me. This isn't the kind of thing where you don't need to focus on the visual to hone in on the song. There needs to be some visual there. The nails, nice touch. Facial expression, very well done. The outfit needs work, because this is not just that kind of composition.
We have another one from Renato, which is Festival da Canção is losing numbers year after year. Maybe the majority of the voters were regular RTP1 voters, and the majority of that public is old. With the old people confused, like I would feel like sorry, that sounds weird. I would feel like the elderly person would like, Lisboa. I don't understand. Like, that's where I'm lost the most. Old people voting for Amina Casa 100% makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I can tell you that, like, that checks out. I think that's kind of like why I like that song so much.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I have to remember a huge part of my musical taste is like influenced by my grandparents. Mm-hmm. So like maybe I just vibe with old people. Like overall, I was okay with this. There was something about the fact that Lisboa didn't get through. O Céu Fue o Amor, good. Like I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm not mad at the qualifiers, but I could have picked 1 to 2 different ones for this, one of whom included my season's winner. So that is the disappointment.
We'll cry more about it later. All right, so next week we have the second semi for Festival da Canção, and we have competing in that one. Now I know there's Portuguese people here, so I'm ready for the like fun of my pronunciation. But we have A Cantadeira with Responso a Mulher, then Tota with Atexis, Bambozinho with Apago Tudo, Amy Curl with Rapsodia da Paz, Inês Marques Lucas with Quantos Queres. Then we have Fernando Daniel with Medo, Luca Argel featuring Pri Azevedo with Quemfua, Napa with Deslocado, Diana Villarino with Cotovia, and then Henka with I Will Destroy You. So let's do the pick 2 once again.
Yeah. Once again, though, you guys, great songs. I could pick several in this semi where I would be like, go to Eurovision, you're ready. But we do have to pick 2 to just, for time's sake, here. I think the first one I want to highlight is Emi Curl Rapsodia da Paz.
Guess what?
It's so bizarre. I love it. It was yours. You were about to say that one too, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Oh my god.
I feel like we're going to sync up pretty well.
Bizarre. It's so weird. I love it.
It's an oddity. And it's an oddity in a way that I haven't really before. So I appreciate
You're thinking. Like, you have to think.
It's like, I like a song. I talk about it all the time. When we get into when we get further down in the stream, we talk about like picking songs apart. I like a song that you have to listen to more than once. And this is a song you have to listen to more than once. Because you need to go in there and you need to pick each little individual section of it apart to see what makes it work all together. And so if I listen to a song and I go, okay, let me listen to it immediately again and see like where each instrumental comes in. It's that. This is so odd. It's sonically very interesting to me, and it's a song that rewards repeat listenings. So,
yeah. And the more you listen to it, the more you appreciate how surgically precise all of these elements are.
Mhm.
It's not just a random hodgepodge of stuff thrown together. No, there is intention to these different layers when they're introduced, how they're delivered. Everything about this is just such an extravagant art piece. And the first listen is meant to kind of throw you off. I
Yeah.
enjoy that.
Diego Rodriguez says, I love Emmy's weird hippie songs. You know what? I feel like we all need more weird hippie girls in the world.
Yes, we do.
And like they do their own thing. They have their own like kind of dance to beat their own drum. We love a hippie girl. We love a weird hippie girl. You go, girl. Like I just it's so out there. And like I really find it enjoyable, you know? So yeah. Fantastic.
So you're gonna have to pick something different. You're gonna have to pick something different because I took that one.
Gosh, I'm like, it's like we don't have like a lot of time. You know, I'm gonna go with I Want to Destroy You by Henka.
Yes. Oh my god.
I know the fandom really likes this one, but for Portugal, unexpected. Like, I love a rocker. I love a rock song with a female vocalist. Okay. I love righteous female anger, and I'm getting all of that rolled up into the song. I think it's immediate. It's not like it's one of those things where it's like, oh, you have to listen to it more than once to get it. No, it's immediate. You understand it right away. Like, oh, this is what we're doing. My biggest complaint is that it's in English, but you know what? Whatever. Who cares? Like, look.
Portugal is not incriminating when it comes to like sending cringy English. They are not who we come after. There are plenty other countries who are on that list.
But like at the same time, I still want to hear more like of the Portuguese language. And I like a rock song. Like at my core, I'm a rock fan. Like that's kind of like the genre of music that was my first foray into finding something that wasn't what I was being fed by my parent. No, just like indie rock was kind of like my first exploration into music for me, my own sake of music and not what my family listened to. And it's like when I find a rock song that I like, I can't help but like enjoy it. Yeah.
So, I agree. And this is very enjoyable. It's not like Puppy in UMK where it's just trying to be way too in your face with too many things. It has layers, it has progression, it's eventful. There's a lot of parts about the song that feel like it was made with also a purpose of winning, but for primarily expression. And I enjoy that. One thing though, it kind of reminds me back in like pre 2010, like the Naruto battle compilation videos, it kind of takes me back to that time. But I was a big kid into that. Yeah, what?
I was going to mention the year 2004.
Yeah, it has that kind of flavor to it, doesn't it? It has that naughties rocker kind of like a punky checkered Vans kind of thing going on.
Does it make me hypocritical to be praising a song that sounds like it could be from that time when other ones I called dated? Maybe, but like
I wouldn't quite say no. I don't think it's hypocritical because you have specified taste. Like there are things that you point out within it that you do like.
Diego, she's a big fan of Evanescence. You know what?
No, I'm not. I mean, yes.
My eyes like open doors.
I mean, who wouldn't be after like the cultural revolution that caused? Like the Midwest was never the same.
Oh man. Oh, you don't know about Midwestern emo, do you, baby?
I don't. Like just anecdotally from other people, but I don't know.
Midwest emo. I enjoy Midwestern emo. I think Midwest emo is probably the best stuff. Like the Midwest had its own rock scenes. Like the Replacements were a great band. And they basically like invented hardcore for like a lot of Americans. You know what? Let me not get into this like talking about like when we talk about like rock music, that's when I can shine.
No, you need to charge for lectures. Charge for lectures. Don't be giving them for free.
Maybe I'll have a lecture on my own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Like big fan of Evanescence. You know what? Let's go with it. Let me see here. I'm just looking at other comments. Mark says, I'm so interested in Henka's performance. It feels insane that this is in the lineup. I don't know how Portugal are going to take it.
Neither do I.
I don't either. How does she feel about Evanescence? Not Evanescence, it's Paramore.
But one thing we do know, this is the same country that sent us Love Is On My Side and Telemovesh within 2 years. This is the same country.
Telemovesh. A
A
moment of
Grammy.
silence. You know what? A moment of silence. A Grammy for Telemovesh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did you want to pick another song? Because we've been
oh my God! I forgot we were picking two. Okay. I think the other one I'm going to pick. This is hard. This is really hard. But
you don't have to.
Deslocado.
Which one?
Deslocado.
Yes. Okay. No.
Oh,
yes.
God, it's so
Another
good.
banger.
This is rock, a different kind of rock, but it feels. I would say it feels more Portuguese, more kind of like European dad energy. But melodically, it just works. Like, it just works. I don't know how else to describe it. And I think I picked it this time around because it's been the biggest grower since the playlist has been released. The biggest grower, so least first impact. But yeah, that's my choice.
Oh no.
Oh. So is Henka gonna pull off the power? Like, what's
You know what? I'm not. There were ideas with power. You know what I mean? There were ideas.
Yes.
And I can see how someone with those ideas can make those ideas translate over to Henka and make it work.
In some capacity, yes.
Like, I think she's gonna qualify still.
Yeah.
Because looking at the running order, she's in a really good spot.
Mm-hmm.
But hi, Rue. We'll have to see. Not you, Rue. This Rue. Different Rue. Hello, Rue. Sorry. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Mark says Radio 1 in the UK played I Want to Destroy You. I've never heard a national final song from another country before on a UK radio. Interesting.
That shows promise. That shows pretty unique promise. Okay. Huh.
Okay.
Maybe Portugal is gonna take a beeline this year. Who knows? But what would be your next song to highlight?
I don't know. I have to choose just one.
Yeah, that's hard. That's the hard part.
I don't know.
Portugal's gonna have to choose just one. So
I think this is. Hold on. Let me just double check one thing because I think I'm right. That's what I wanted to pick. Because here's the thing. I came prepared to talk about 2 songs in depth, and we already covered those 2 songs. And then I'm like, okay, well, I had to pick something else. Oh, what's your number 3? Let's talk about my number 3. Cotovia?
Oh,
by Diana Villarino.
Mm-hmm.
It's her voice is like just smoky and mysterious. I love a bit of Portuguese guitar. I think that's like the instrument that I found via Eurovision I like the most is like just that
Portuguese lute.
Like it's so good. It's just like, it transports you. Like suddenly you're like, oh, okay. And there's something about this that just like it tickles my brain in the right way. I love a smoky voice on a lady.
Mm-hmm. And it has like such a familiar traditional like structure to the melody of Europe. It feels authentically European in a historical way that's not trying to be like pastiche of history.
Yeah.
Like you could feel that this was produced in 2024-ish. You could feel modernity to it, but the inspiration, kind of like the key focal point, is the sound of European melodical structure. And that is very expertly done. Very well done.
It makes me want to put on a kirtle and go to the Ren Fair.
I mean,
I don't know what else to say besides that. And a snood. Ooh, a snood. Yes. I know curdles and snoods are like two different time periods, but this is something you'd put a snood onto. So yeah. Are you lost? Are you confused?
I don't know clothing terms, okay? I don't know fashion and stuff.
So a snood is like, you know, the hairnets that when you look at like medieval pictures that women had on.
Can you spell it for me? I want to go with images.
SNOOD, I think is how snood is spelled.
Oh, that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Like that's a snood. I mean, but like if you look up on Google, it's going to give you like, you want to make sure you're like saying medieval snood.
I had to because it's giving me like crocheted stuff, but yeah.
And then a curdle is KERTEL, I think. Nope, that is not how you spell curdle. Is it KERTLE? That's not a curdle though.
Both ways I've tried to spell it did not deliver on either of the results that I feel like you were expecting. So
hold on.
Let's see. I found dermatologists. I found random stuff.
Okay. I misspelled it. KIRTLE.
Okay. KIRTLE. Oh, okay. You could serve in that. That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, like, I kind of want to make a new one anyway because the one I currently have is not good. Like, legitimately, I was looking at fabric, like, oh, I should make a new girdle. So yeah, it makes me want to get ready for Ren Fair because I've been seeing people like making princess hats lately, and I'm like, oh, I should make a princess hat. Side quest achieved, but it gives me like medieval flair vibes. Real quick, just a comment from Curl. So when it comes to San Marino,
I saw it yesterday, Carl. We'll get into that.
Like, I haven't been watching it yet because it's so daunting. And I've been working 12-hour days all this week. Like, I've been working 12 hours basically every day except for yesterday. So I worked 4 12-hour shifts and then an 8-hour shift yesterday. So I have like a lot of catching up to do. But like, I'm just trying to save up money right now. So I've been like super busy with work and I haven't really been able to go off into other things. We'll talk about San Marino at some point. But yeah, that's what happened there. Let's see, what's the next thing we need to touch on? Because we've been on Portugal for a while now.
Yeah, and I think that's enough of Portugal for this week. We have 2 more weeks of it, so.
Yeah, because we have to talk about other songs.
The finals.
Other finals coming up. Real quick, we're going to talk about, this could have been an email, Melodifestivalen to the final months. I'm in love with Revolution. Kai with Bara Bara Bats. Bara Bara Bastu. I keep wanting to say Bara Bara Batsu, but that sounds like a name of like a BL manga. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow, you got it. Yeah, it does.
It does really sound like it should be the title of a BL manga. And then we also went like to the to the second chance, whatever, is Ella Tritiello, or I don't know how.
Tiratello. Okay.
Para do Ardar.
So I would argue that this was the best heat of Melfest so far. I would argue that.
I would too.
I would say that.
That being said, we knew the result. I'm shocked Sweden let 2 songs in Swedish go through.
Yeah, that's quite shocking. So, do we want to just address who walked away probably with the trophy overall?
I mean, it's gonna probably be Mons. Peter Hodich says, I would have liked Revolution more if it didn't find too many similarities sonically to Heroes. It was giving Heroes sonically, visually. It made me think of the music video for 1944, but not as artistically interesting.
Oh, I see exactly what you mean by that.
Yeah. And like, why is he in a wind tunnel with trash? Like, what is happening?
But yeah, at least there was kind of even an imposed context of like an alien invasion in the 1944 music video. This one, it just kind of seems like visually obtuse.
All right, this is from Incubus Taterman. I'm sorry, Incubus Otterman. Bara Bara Bastu is one of the best Belfast songs I've heard in a while.
Deserve the final. Deserved.
I don't disagree at all. I'm like, okay, this was fun. It was kind of silly. I mean, it's a silly, like, little jokey song. But, like, at least it was interesting. And I wasn't like, oh, this is bland. Everything else is just so bland. Like, I'm like, oh. So we've had 2 songs so far in Melfest this year that made me go, you know what? I don't hate this. And at least one of them made it through the final. Oh, gosh. You know, I think people just wanted to talk crap about Mons here for a little bit. Mark, the audacity of Mons to send a song called Revolution when he hasn't revolutionized himself in over 10 years.
I like how he just managed to pace out his like collagen supplements so that he would look the same by Melfest, you know, and had his hair cut the same way. Like he tried to make it so that visually he appeared the same way, other than the outfit as 10 years ago. So good for you for the persistence, I suppose.
Yeah.
Nanolo says Revolution is such an empty song carried by a great voice, a hot daddy, and quite a good scenography. That is Swedish formula. That I don't feel like alone is Swedish formula, but those are a lot of the main components of why Sweden does well. Good voices also. It was there. It was present. I do see this winning Melfest because Melfest is like one thing about them, they're predictable. So this is almost definitely going to be the one to go through. And is it weird that I'm seeing a 3rd place at Eurovision? I'm picking up on 3rd. It's giving me 3rd.
I don't want him to win.
I don't want him to win
Eurovision. I'm fine.
I mean, okay, I just have a thought occasionally, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but sometimes I have a thought where it's just like, Mons, after almost a decade since he won Eurovision, looking at his wife, looking at his son, his beautiful, thriving wine business, his gorgeous London apartment, and said, this isn't enough. I need to go back. I want more. That just occurs to me every now and then, how that might have gone down. But
you know what?
Yeah.
Mark brings up a good point. Thing is, even if Mons wins, he won't even be the best male lead pop. Oh my gosh. Even if Mons wins, he won't be the best male lead pop song in ESC this year. There's a lot of male pop songs he's going to contend with. The win is not his like it was with Loreen in 2023.
The win isn't his.
No.
As soon as we saw the name Loreen in the Melodifestivalen lineup, we were given nothing else. We knew. And there she goes knocking out my lighting again. But there we go. Oh, and this is roughly the color of Revolution, the performance of the stage show.
Oh,
this
you need
kind
some
of like
garbage.
Dark
like,
gray.
You want me to throw some trash at you?
Oh yeah, receipts. Like receipts.
Like what?
It's like someone opened like the glove compartment of like a hoarder's car.
You know what? C'est la vie. Okay, let's go ahead and let's move on. Is that the only? I'm trying to see where I'm at right now. My notes, guys. It's time to talk about Denmark.
You saved it for the last.
We still have like 2-3 other things we need to talk about.
Okay.
But we need to talk about Denmark.
But I do have thoughts on Denmark.
I have a very spicy Denmark take. I've got a super spicy Denmark take.
Okay, I'll say my stupid thing first, and then you could say your spicy take.
Okay.
Denmark has one option, and it's not going to qualify.
Wow.
That is my take.
My spicy Danish take.
Yeah.
This isn't the worst national final of the year. This isn't even the worst Nordic final of the year. Denmark, congratulations. Ooh. You've beat out quality-wise of songs. You've beat out Iceland. You've beat out Norway. And you may have beaten out Sweden. And I know that's all you really want to do. Is you just want to cast a shadow over Sweden like they cast over you. I disagree with Jordan's statement. I think Denmark has multiple options.
What is happening?
Now, Peter, I don't disagree. Denmark is mid. But mid is better than what we've gotten from other national finals in the same region.
Yeah, I
mid is better than Denmark. Denmark's goal is mid, but at least it's like mid in a way that's like not the most boring thing I've ever heard in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would say pick 2, but it's Denmark, so that's gonna be a struggle for you. I could pick 3, but like, do you want to say your favorite, and then we'll just work from there?
I mean, okay, like I honestly will, like at the very last second, say it's a tie between Ale Ale and Hallucination.
You know what? Those are the 2 songs I was going to bring up as well. I think Ale Ale is the best one that they've gotten in this semi.
Oh, they won't do that though. They're not going to do that though.
It's in Danish. That being said, Denmark did send that Fager og Flam. I can't remember how to pronounce it.
Oh yeah.
Flam. That was fun. And that was in Danish. This is also fun and in Danish. It's like, what are we getting this like Afrobeats-esque song from Denmark in Danish with a French title?
Yeah, I don't know how. Like, it is so bizarre to me. I need to sit with it longer. It's such an odd set of components, but I might enjoy it.
I don't hate it. I'm like, oh, this is good. Like, I would choose to listen to this. Hallucination. I would also choose to listen to that. Is it a little clunky at some points? Yes. But I like it still.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. Like, I'm like, those 2 are both on my main playlist. Where is it? Nanolo brings up my options are Proud. I like Proud. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed Proud.
You like Proud?
I thought it wasn't bad. Maybe it's I went into this selection with expectations in hell. The bar was set deep into hell. I should have put it at the Marianas Trench or something, but it was in hell when I started this. I was like, this is going to be awful. I'm going to hate every second of it. The first song I heard was Hallucination. I was like, this isn't bad. I would listen to this. Then I heard Proud. I was like, this isn't bad either. Then I heard Ale Ale. I'm like, oh, I will take this. I even like Air. So everyone that Noah mentioned, I don't hate it.
That's how you know it's a weird year. That's how you know, because Denmark is often abysmal to sit through to the point where it's almost nauseating.
Denmark is usually the national final I go into like I'm gonna like only one song, and that one song is gonna come last place. Because it's Denmark.
They're really gonna have to try
Denmark
to mess
are
this
in
up.
hell. Like they have options. Not a single one of these songs makes me annoyed.
That is so odd.
Supernova, I can even handle Supernova. Like Unluckiest Boy Alive has a bit of a charm to it. There's something about that one.
It kind of does. Yeah.
I can't disagree with you. Anime, but it has a charm to it. And look at this. I literally named every single song except for Hear My Prayer. What was that one?
I don't remember anything about Hear My Prayer.
Yeah.
So that's
a lot of these DMGP songs were in Melfest. They would be talked about and probably going DTF.
Ooh, you said the quiet part out loud.
Mark, what did I just say? Congratulations, Denmark. You now have Sweden in your shadow. You've risen above Sweden, and I know that's all you really want. Like, at this point, they can go home. They don't have to go to Eurovision. Like, they have a better selection than Melfest.
These what? How many? Like 6, 7 songs? These 8 songs altogether have a better sum material value than all of Melfest combined this year.
Melodi Grand Prix. I in the battle between the Melodi Grand Prix, I usually give it to Norway. Denmark takes it. I would rather listen to these songs than like almost anything in Norway.
Honestly, yeah.
Like this is
They
better
aren't
than
that
Norway.
bad. They're not that irritating. I mean, they're kind of mundane, sure, but like, yeah, but nothing to the point where it's just like I need to actively skip this, otherwise I will be upset.
Yeah. Congratulations, Denmark. I don't hate what you've got. Should we talk about another country that has options?
Yeah.
That I don't hate what they have.
Okay. And that would be their neighbor, correct?
Yeah, that would be the neighbor, Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Germany. When have you seen Germany with options? I'll tell you last time it happened, 2019.
19.
They took their only non-option that year.
They took their only non-option. They had plenty. They had almost nothing but options, but they chose lesbian Google Images first page. And someone audited that, and it was true.
Germany is not bad.
This year, I do have a very strong song this year in Germany where I'm just like, absolutely, I would love this. And if you pick this, then you are joining the top 10 so far.
Okay, so what is your favorite hanging out in Germany?
Leonora This Bliss. Girl.
You know what?
Girl.
I respect that. I respect that wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm. It's just jazzy and loungy, and it's just like she's up there kind of like doing a little improvisational bit. Very nicely done. Germany hasn't gone in that direction in an extremely long time, so that's why I pick it.
Oh yeah, no, I totally get that.
Who's your highlight?
I don't even know who to choose because
I mean,
most of it.
I do agree with options though. Like they do have a couple on here where I feel could be pretty strong, like a mid-table strong.
This Bliss, yeah, no, I feel it. I'm kind of sad that they don't have any songs like in German.
Oh, they'll never. They would never. At this
You know
point.
what? Why not go for something a little silly and fun? I'm going to go ahead and say nightclub with Fans. It's stupid. Okay. Don't get me wrong, but it's like a fun kind of stupid that I really enjoy. I'm like, you know what?
It's stupid, but it's not dumb.
If we're gonna have like every year we have to send some like goofy men doing something goofy, I like this. And it's very German. It's a very German sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I can rock a snoo to this. I can make a curdle to this.
Mm-hmm.
I can still dress up in medieval attire. I think what I'm saying is I need to make more medieval clothes again.
We're headed into a medieval kind of
might
flavored
be
year.
doing that. You know what? You know, in Pinterest, right? They have like predicting what their trends of the year are gonna be, and one of them was like night inspired.
Hey, we are seeing a lot of that.
Yeah, like it's like honestly, I think this will be on trend. And in fact, it would be like ahead of trend. Sorry, I'm trying to look this up.
You're calling Feuerschwanz ahead of trend?
Well, no, I'm saying that because like they have a trend predictor they did this year of what they think is going to be on trend for 2025. Mm-hmm. And let me pull it. I have it pulled up here. I'm going to tell you what their predicted trends were going to be. And Nightcore, like Knights in Fighting Armor was one of the things that they're like, oh yeah, this could go.
Oh, that Nightcore.
Yeah, not like Nightcore, not that music. Like, yeah. So the trends that they predicted for the year have been cherry coated, which I agree with. You know, I'm a cherry bitch. I love cherries. One of them is like aura beauty, like having like very aura based like vibe, vibey good times. Sea Witches Rococo revival, which bitch. I've been living the Rococo revival anyway. That's just my vibe. Pretty cute. Oh no, I'm sorry. They're calling it Castlecore, not Nightcore.
Castlecore. Okay, that makes more. So, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Nightclub works for that, and I think it's fun. It's silly. It works.
It could get a pretty good result too. Like it has that. When Eurovision goes cheap, they typically lean very well into songs like that, and Eurovision seems pretty cheap this year.
Mark says Germany has two good options, Nightcore and Baller. Baller's good too.
Baller's good. I like Baller. Baller has that kind of like familiar early 2010s like Germanic country pop feel that I really used to love back then. And even to this day, I enjoy it.
It's got a vibe to it that's enjoyable. Like, I can see that doing, like, I don't know how that would do at Eurovision necessarily, but it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Mark says, I worry about Nightclub because of Lord of the Lost and all, but it's a weak year, so I think they'll stand out too much. I think the other part of it is Lord of the Lost was at Eurovision. Like, we had so many bands that year.
Yeah, that was the band year. Liverpool was the band year. Guitars year, very heavily so. Which, I mean, and also Lord of the Lost, they did not have that many lyrics in their song. Like, they had like 5 words total. I feel like that also had something to do with their result. But with that said, they didn't have that much theatrics either, as Feuerschwanz really does. They didn't have, I would say, kind of like the oomph of the performance as you're performing it like they do. I mean, at least so far. But it's really cool to see that they had qualified. It's not my winner, though.
Yeah. So, yeah, the Baller is interesting. It's like, it's not, like, you mean, I don't know, because it's in German. How would the German public handle that one?
It'd be hard to tell, I feel like, because I feel like Germany, there's kind of a divide between folks. There are the folks who are like, I'm okay with German language. It's like a fun, dancey beat. Let's send this to Eurovision because it's often on trend in our country. And then there are the people where it's just like, people are not going to appreciate the German sound. Let's send something that's more accessible to folk. And they typically go for the latter.
I mean, but like, I'd rather listen to a song in German than a song in Dutch. Oh, this is what I was
Damn, the Netherlands just taking a stray out of nowhere. They weren't even a topic today.
No, I'm sorry. That just made me think. That made me think of my dad. I'm sorry. I said that. My dad's like, "What? You're like the only." My dad prefers the sound of Dutch over German, and this is an argument me and him used to have all the time when I was a kid, because he spoke both Dutch and German. I only speak German, and then like I look at Dutch and go like, I can understand that. Why can I understand that? And like language thing, nerdiness. It's just like a preference of the sound. I don't mind the Dutch language. Let me see here. Okay.
It's just not as frequently musical, I would say, as German. German is just more frequently musical.
No. I think Dutch is more musical when it's spoken over German.
Okay. I mean, I could see that.
I think Germany should send something upbeat and fun. It would be unexpected from them, and I think that in a year that's very meh, it could stand out. So
I respect it. I support it.
All right, now we've gotten to the Balkan times, because guys, we have 2 national finals popping off in the Balkans, and they're both going to be happening. So I want to know, like, it's gonna be an interesting week because it's like you have the semifinals happening the same times and days, and the final happening same time and same day. So, do you want to talk about Dora or Pesma first?
Let's talk about Pesma first.
Okay.
So there's a lot of songs, you guys. We are in for a lot of music.
I'm gonna say just pick 2 songs. I hate to be like just pick 2, but it's like one of those things where like when you have your whole final in 1 week, it's kind of hard to like discuss things in more depth.
It is. And I mean, if you guys really feel like there's a song that we could discuss, then just bring it up in the comments.
Yeah. So you want to pick your first song first?
Sure. Okay. Mimi Mercedes, Turbo Jurka.
Okay.
It is. I don't know what I like about this. Like, it has so many parts of it where it's just like, I don't understand. Because it has a lot of elements that I just don't typically find to be in my taste. But full package wise, something about it just makes sense. And I think I'm obsessed with it because of that. Yeah, I don't have a lot of detail about it. I really just purely don't. It's just there. It decided to introduce itself. And ever since then, I just haven't really stopped thinking about it. So yeah, Mimi, nice.
Okay. I am gonna go ahead and say, was it I don't know who sings it. I just wrote down the title. Duram Duram.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like upbeat and catchy, and it's like, you know what? And like getting through this playlist was a little hard for me. I'm not gonna lie, but like something about Duram Duram that just stayed in my head. I was like kind of humming along to it, like I'm doing dishes. I'm still singing it. I'm like, okay, you know what? This is where we're at. I don't know how competitive it would be at Eurovision, but it's someone that definitely sticks with me.
Okay. No, yeah, that's fine. It's really hard to assess like Serbia, the direction they're trying to go in, because this is a kind of an unusual year for PZE.
Yeah, like nothing in PZE really stood out to me as like that's the one.
But I mean, PZE is also a very let's see what happens on stage kind of show.
True.
Like you
often
can fall apart. You don't get that salient of takeaways just from the studios with PZE like you can with Sweden. The second one I think I want to highlight, weirdly enough, and I did not think I would ever be highlighting this artist or artists, Bojana and David, Chefsache Chulo.
You know what? I have them listed as my number 3.
Why?
They were my backup.
And this is another song where it's just like, I don't get it. Like these guys, I don't typically like their music. I don't typically think their music is good. And I still don't think necessarily that this song is good, but I'm obsessed.
There's a charm about the two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get
Let's
you.
remember that this is Bojana from Junior 17 or whatever.
Like there's this is like a charm that the two of them have together that really works for me. No, I totally get that though. It's like there's just something about the two of them like together.
Their interplay is very interesting.
Yeah, and it's like, you know what? If you're gonna keep collabing, keep collabing. Georgios, please don't tell me. I'll look at it later. Keep that to yourself for now because I can't get distracted, hon. I can't get distracted right now. That's all I'm gonna say is like I have thoughts and I have feelings, and you know what? They're not they're not
appropriate.
No, I'm sorry. I'm talking about Bojana and No, I honestly I think the two of them together are really interesting as artists. And it's like it's kind of cool to me because it's like when you have someone that you can collab with like that, so like with such regularity and have like a charm to you, like I wouldn't be mad at this one. I wouldn't be mad at all.
Yeah, it's really hard to see the direction they're going to go in. They just have a lot of options, many of which just seem a little mismatched and underdeveloped. But it's really hard to tell what's going to happen with Serbia this year. But at least we can't tell. I would prefer that we can't tell.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go ahead and let's go on to Dora.
Okay.
All right.
So
Dora,
and 2?
2 and 2.
You start this one. I'm going to need a little bit more time to think.
I'm going to go with Lilik. And I wish this wasn't in English. The soul of my soul, if it was not in English, I'd probably enjoy this way more. Like sonically, I really like the sound that this has. However, I don't like that I can understand the lyrics. Because I mean, it's just like they're really clunky and awkward.
The lyrics are the reason I don't like this song.
Yeah.
Because I know they're re-recording in Croatian, but if they had originally released that, then I would have liked it more. But I don't like it because of the English. The English is bad.
It's really clunky and weird. And it's like, but it's one of those things where I'm like, do I want to be like, oh, the lyrics are what makes me not like this at all? But I really like if I had to pick something sonically I like the most, it's this one. My issues are just like the lyrics are really clunkily put together.
Yeah. And it's, it's really hard to pick out like how tension and release is constructed with lyrically how the song is put together, because it doesn't quite feel like the lyrics are properly eventful. It doesn't feel like what's happening in the lyrics is lining up with what's happening in the song per se. And I find that to be kind of disjointed and displeasurable. So I don't like it because of that.
Like it distracts me from the overall package, but like I just really, really like how it sounds so much. I'll pretend I don't speak English. You
I do
know?
that all the time.
Hey, there we go.
But that's
You
just
wanna do
having
your first
foreign
pick?
parents. My
Hey.
first pick, I'm even diverting from what thought I was going to say. Fengsta Extra. That's my first
It's
pick.
not bad. I thought it was fun.
It is good. And I think part of the reason why it's good is because it has such a naturally like LA, California type
Yeah.
early 90s NWA kind of flavor to it.
I
It
wouldn't
doesn't
say
replicate
NWA
that.
flavor. I would say it's got a California vibe. Like you put this on, it's summertime. You're in like a drop top,
Mhm.
just driving, and like that's what this sounds like. It sounds like going on a nice summer drive
Yeah.
and just like
You're
having a good
more
time.
inland California, you're not by the coast. Because by the coast, that's when you start hearing like Katy Perry and Addison Rae. No, this is further
No.
inland where you're hearing folks who listen to SZA, where you're hearing folks who listen to more cultivated, cultured music, more
I'm gonna say a
localized.
city, Bakersfield.
Okay, Bakersfield.
You
Yeah,
know what I
I mean
mean?
Bakersfield is more inland, and they do have like a good music consumption scene out there. I'm just wiping the dust off my screen because Rick was walking by.
It's
But yeah,
Bakersfield. Like that's the city vibe. I've never been to California. Like I've never been to Bakersfield. I'm just saying, like from what I've heard of other people say about Bakersfield, it sounds like Bakersfield to me.
Bakersfield, Modesto, Fresno, that
Okay,
kind of vibe of
Fresno
city.
definitely.
Coalinga, that kind of vibe of city. If any of you have been to like middle California, the valley, down into the LA Valley where the fires happen, just behind those mountains, yes, this is the kind of sound that's produced from that. And you're right, not exactly NWA, but it has that early 90s kind of like, I have a Cadillac that can bump up and down kind of feeling where it's just my
Yeah.
swagger. Like I have a good natural swagger. And the kind of like barbershop quartet harmony at the very tail end of the chorus that we get to, it just feels so 90s. And I am here for it. Like California in the 90s was my type of environment. So I appreciate it for that reason. But
Yeah, no.
Bakersfield, it's interesting you bring that up.
Like it feels like it to me. That's what I hear when I listen to this. Like I was like, I didn't put it down as like one of my favorites, but when I listen to it, I think of like driving. It's hot outside. We're not by the ocean. Yeah.
We're going to In-N-Out, baby. We just spent all day at the reservoir that was filled with ash and dead fish. So now we're going. So now we're going up. Yeah, we're going up Highway 101.
Or
This
it's
is
like,
exactly the kind of feeling.
here's what I also would say with this. It sounds like the 90s and you're going to the beach, but it's not a beach on the ocean. It's like a beach at a lake.
Yeah. Rio
That's
Vista.
what this sounds like.
I'm sorry. I'm triggering myself with like California coastlines that are not that nice, which I mean, I'm never going to fully disclose that because we need tourist revenue at this point.
Oh no, I feel like
But that is the feeling. That is the vibe though. You did manage to nail that.
Yeah, like it's just that's the vibe I'm getting. I'm going to the lake and we're listening to music while we drive to the lake.
Like my grandpa has a houseboat right now. There's a slide on the houseboat. Bring some fish to grill, kind of a thing.
Fine. Well, you're gonna catch the fish at the lake.
Oh, there's too much mercury.
Okay, well your lakes are nasty.
We can catch one fish a year.
Okay, never
in
mind.
California.
Okay,
Bad.
I guess I'll go ahead and choose my second pick then.
Yeah. Who's your second?
My second I'm gonna go with is Znak by Nipple People.
That was gonna be my second pick. That was gonna be my second one, and then I changed it.
Again, what is there about this song?
early millennium, but this is more like 80s. Like I would say like mid-late 80s type pop that's more kind of like sophisticated electronic, dancey, house inspired.
It makes me think of Cake. Even though Cake is more of a ska band, like I don't know how to phrase that.
Let me see. Oh, they tour still. They're from Sac. Oh my God, they're from Sacramento. I did not know that.
Yeah, like again, we're kind of hanging out in California. I feel like
we are.
Like
it's not typical, but we are.
You know, California 8. So yeah, that's why I went with that one. So
it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
an incredibly like memorable type of sound to it too. I'm just really curious as to how it would translate on stage because it seems more like a radio song than a stage song.
Yeah, it does. For real,
I
for
think
real.
would that be your point or
Yeah, kind of basically everything we said about oh my gosh, what was the name of the song?
Extra?
Extra, thank you. Everything we said about Extra I kind of would apply to Znak as well.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. My second
right.
choice is Ivan Monopol. Yeah, I know. Like,
you know what?
But it's so good. Like it could produce such a good result for Croatia, especially in a year where it's like male bops are going to be very heavily forward. We're going to need one that's going to be the strongest of the bunch, and this could be that. It could be, depending on everybody else, but still.
You know, I get it. I understand what you're coming from with that one.
Mm-hmm. Also, It sounds like a testament to Maria Magdalena. Listen to Maria Magdalena and then listen to this song. This feels like the part
companion piece.
The companion piece, literally, yeah. In the way how it's all put together, especially. And the testament to a religious figure. Like the Catholic, the disco Catholic inside me is living again. And I'm happy about that.
Disco Catholic. Can that be like a genre of music?
It's called Filipinos. Okay, we are the disco Catholics.
I saw a Filipino person. What song was he singing? I don't know what he was singing, but he didn't even know the lyrics. And it was just like the vibe was immaculate. Like it was another Filipino karaoke situation.
Yes, divine immaculate. Like someone will be tied to a wooden cross, like paraded down the middle of the market street, and they'll be singing Donna Summer. Like, don't put it past us.
No, Monopol, I get it 100%. No.
It has something. Uh-huh.
It's a companion piece to Maria Magdalena.
And I think that's why I love it the most. I mean, I don't love it the most out of everybody, but that's the quality to why I do love it the most.
Yeah.
And it's because it has that Maria Magdalena-ishness about it, which was the only one of its kind that year, even to this day. Like, it's an incredibly special song.
There's a reason why, like, when we hear Maria Magdalena, we all, like, lose our minds. No, but it does sound like we're going to the club, we're on vacation, and we're going to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
But on the chorus, 100%, I'm hearing Maria Magdalena.
Mm-hmm. It's like I want to show up to the club with like an iced out crucifix, you know, like all iced out with like a tiger in the middle of it.
Wait, does the crucifix have a tiger, or are you taking a tiger to the club?
Oh, good question.
Or I have a friend who she's not Catholic at all, but she is a lover of Catholic iconography. And I can see her bump into this one.
Hey, I mean, I can sanction it.
She has a favorite
like
song.
Catholic iconography is the best iconography in Christianity. Like, come on, like who's serving?
Would you like to guess what her favorite Eurovision song is this year so far?
This year?
Yeah. Out of songs that have been confirmed to go to the contest.
Out of songs that have been confirmed. Lighter.
No.
What is it?
It would be Like a Party. She really loves Like a Party.
Ooh.
So I'm thinking Like a Party is going to do better than I think the fandom thinks it might. Because she's a total casual.
Casuals typically get a very strong hand in voting, you guys. They do. They do.
Like, she's an absolute casual.
We can never calculate how the casuals are going to vote. That's one thing. That's an absolutely variable.
Yeah, so that's where we're at right now with that one. That's all. Sorry. Anyways,
wow. Did we cover everything we needed to?
Yeah, we did. We're an hour and a half, baby. So we'll be back next week.
Era of this season, though. When we come back next week, it'll be a couple less details, but that'll be after a couple of the Balkan select.
Yeah, so we'll have the songs for next week. Is actually kind of looking busy. We'll have San Marino song next week.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about San Marino. We can do that next week.
I wish I had more time. Like, I kind of low-key wish I was unemployed again this year, like I was for last season, because I wish I could deep dive into San Marino. I really, truly do. I really, really, truly do wish I could deep dive in.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
But I'm just
we
pulling
have
up the
one
calendar
finalist so far.
Ooh, exciting.
We have 4 semifinalists, but 1 finalist, I believe.
Oh no, Peter corrected me. San Marino will be the 8th of March.
Okay, so we're gonna have a little bit more time to do coverage. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for the correction, Peter.
Thank you, Peter. I'm just looking. So we're gonna get the song from Australia this week.
Oh really? Huh? Where the hell have they been?
We'll also have the Dutch song this week as well, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah,
I really am looking forward to
see
what we get from Claude. And then of course we'll have Pesma's result as well. And that will be on Friday, I think, or Saturday. So I'm double checking my calendar.
I don't know.
Friday.
Okay,
Pesma's result will be Friday. Then we'll also know what Denmark is going to be sending, what Germany will be sending, and what Croatia will be sending. And then, of course, we have to go over the national final stuff as well. And then the week after that, we're kind of like hanging out towards the end of the season. It's starting to get a little sparse.
That's when we get into our deep dives. So if you guys have favorite songs in the lineup that you would like us to discuss, we want to have that discussion with you by the time we analyze them. We'll let you guys know what the schedule is pretty soon.
Yeah, so I'm looking for, I don't know. Like, I mean, Carl says, I don't see Australia being here more than 5 years. It's like they almost don't care anymore. I think that they just need another push with a better result. Because Australians are very competitive, like as a people group, like as a country. Australia is a very competitive country. And they need to.
I'm saying, no, I am agreeing with you. Australia is very competitive. They will always do 100% if they know that there's a goal at the end that involves a trophy.
If they know there's a goal at the end that involves a trophy that they can possibly get.
Yes. And so that's why we had Dami Eam. She won the jury the second year that they participated. Australia getting a top 10 result in the first 4 years that they were here. It's insane. I mean, there have been a couple kinks in their armor since then, as in last year, them not qualifying, or Montaigne not qualifying, Raygun. But that doesn't change the fact that they have a more competitive edge to the way that they approach this than a lot of Scandies combined. So
we'll see what happens. Mark says, can we just talk about Albania and their first win ever every week until ESC? I would love to see Albania take it this year so far. They're not my favorite song so far this year, but I would be so happy if they won this year. That's all I'm saying for that one right now. Yeah. We're in a space right now where we've got things picking up, and then the week after is a lot of internals are starting to come out.
Almost all of the internals, the rest of the internals being 16.
You know what? I'm going to say this right now. Australia and the Netherlands, good on you two for choosing to release your internals in February and not wait until the last week.
Yeah.
Because at that point,
destroying your chances of publicity.
I'm looking here. Who's releasing that last week that we know for a fact? Czechia is the 7th. On the 8th, we're going to have Melfest final, San Marino, and Melfest, San Marino, and Festival da Canção all in one day.
What a trio.
So those are not internals.
What a trio, those three.
I mean, it's not internal. It's a final, but still, that's 3 songs straight. And then, that's sandwiched between 2 countries releasing internal songs.
Oh, and then, that's going to be busy.
And then we know that, who is this? France is going to be the 15th.
So who's going to be the last of everybody?
France, probably.
Okay. Interesting, because they were the first to release last year.
The songs are due on the 10th. That's when the songs have to be turned into the EBU. I don't know why you would wait until after the deadline Because then if people don't like your song, you can't go, oh, never mind.
Yeah, you can't just pull
You're
back.
stuck. So they gotta be real confident with the land. And I'm sorry, every time I hear her name, I think of King of the Hill. But that's a whole side story.
Luann.
Anyways, we'll talk about that when the time comes. We'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for joining us. If you enjoyed the stream, don't forget to hit like. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us some comments, get that boost going.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll have a lot of fun. So thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.
See you guys next week.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna end stream.